We are live, baby. It's a terrific takeover Tuesday. That's what it is. Terrific takeover Tuesday. It can actually be a takeout Tuesday because there's some links people can click and they can like order products, programs, and services. So it can be a terrific takeout, takeover, takeoff, whatever. Tuesday.
Love it.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Whether you are watching us on Facebook, YouTube, or just listening to us at some point, I'll be prophesying that. Listening to us on some other video or audio program or platform. Good afternoon to you today. Do me a favor very quickly. I always have a few housekeeping instructions that I want to give you. Hit the like button. We need that. Hit the share button. We need that. Tag some family members and friends if you're on a platform that gives you the luxury and the liberty to tag. I want you to tag some people that you know who needs help, who needs support, who needs assistance in starting, structuring, or scaling their businesses, ministries, income streams, or wealth building dreams. So if you know anybody that's having any issues in their finances, especially people that you know are entrepreneurs, I want you to hit that share button, share it with them, tag them, give them an opportunity to come on. While you're doing that, I also want you to drop the name of the city that you're representing and or watching from today. Whatever city you're representing, I want you to drop the name of that city in the comments. I really appreciate all of you, especially those of you that are on YouTube. I hate making other platforms feel bad, but YouTube is just overwhelmingly amazing when it comes to those of you that continue to support our show. You continue to give us feedback. You comment, you engage us. We really appreciate that. Even those of you that are on Facebook, whether you're watching from our public business page or my personal Facebook page, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For almost 6 months now, we have been hosting this show and we have had an overwhelming response, positive response from all of you. And not just from those who are in Atlanta or just states that we're connected to in America, but we have people from all over the world who participate in our programs. We have people from all over the world that watch the show on a daily. So thank you so much. And welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. I'm your host, Ramon Preston. And every Monday through Friday, me, my squad, and this show, we come to you live, sharing with you information that is specifically and strategically designed, if I can say that, to help you start, structure, and scale your businesses. That's if you have one or want one. Your ministries, if you have one or want one. Your income streams and your wealth building dreams. I really don't know anyone that doesn't want one of those four things. Everybody I know either wants a business, a ministry, a better income stream, or they just want to fulfill some wealth building dreams. And maybe like me, you want all of the above. I'm really greedy and I want it all. I want to have it all because there are so many people that I want to help. And that might sound selfish to say I'm greedy, but it's just the truth. I want it all. I'm never going to be satisfied with certain things because there are so many people I want to serve, so many communities I want to help, so many lives I want to change, so many churches I want to plant, so many businesses I want to help build. It's just so much that we have in front of us that we can do, so we shouldn't have no limitations. But anyway, thank you for being a part of the show. Welcome to the show. This week, Monday through Friday this week, today is Tuesday, we're dedicating the shows this week, every show, Monday through Friday this week, to one of our biggest sessions that we taught in one of our recent business coaching masterminds. Now, one of the reasons why I'm bringing some sessions up that we just taught in our recent mastermind is because we're preparing to host another business coaching mastermind in a couple of weeks. In August, we're going to be hosting another one. And we're offering to our audience an opportunity for you to be a part of not just our upcoming business coaching mastermind, but to also take advantage of having access to the 4 hours or more of teaching and training that I did in our last business coaching mastermind. Now, here's what's important about this. Our business coaching masterminds are exclusively for our coaching clients. So everybody that's in our business coaching program, they have access to our coaching masterminds for free. We host them every quarter. So if you're a part of our 1-year business coaching program, then on your schedule, you have a 1-year schedule. On that schedule, you'll see every quarter that we host a business coaching mastermind, which is free for you. But for the general public, these business coaching masterminds are typically $250 for you to attend. And one of the reasons why, because number one, you are in a room full of people who have spent thousands of dollars to be a part of a coaching program, number one. Number two, because of the type of information that I share in these business coaching masterminds, it is so strategic, it is so tactical. I get into the nuts and bolts and into the mechanics of each individual business because I'm helping these business owners, these entrepreneurs move forward. I'm helping them increase their income. I'm helping them develop strategic tax advantages for their businesses. I mean, we do so much in these masterminds. And guess what? We're not even talking about the types of relationships that you're able to build with other 5-figure and some even 6-figure earners who are in the room. So my point is, when this show ends, I want you to click the link that you see in the description, or I want you to click one of the links that you see in the comments, because I want you to take advantage of this offer. We are offering 2 masterminds. They're virtual. We have one that we just hosted, and we have one that we're preparing to host. 2 virtual business coaching masterminds you can have access to, almost 10 hours total of teaching and training on how to start, how to structure, and how to scale your business, your ministry, your income streams, your wealth building dreams. You're getting that for $29.99. You can't beat it. Think about it. You spend $30 on a book. You can spend $30 in Walmart. You can spend $30 at Target. You can spend $30 at, what do you call it? Starbucks. I know every time I go to Starbucks, I'm spending at least $15, $20. That's every day. So for $30, you can have at least 10 hours of content to really give you an idea of how impactful business coaching can be to you as an individual, as an entrepreneur, as a business owner. So again, that offer is going to hold this whole week. We're going to have that offer available. That's going to be 2 amazing masterminds that you're going to have access to. And we're also adding to this offer, only for those who sign up, you'll get a link to a bonus Q&A session that I'm going to be hosting. So after this upcoming mastermind ends, let me show you how this works. Let's say you sign up for this $30 mastermind offer. It's going to be a 2-for-1. So while you're waiting for the August business coaching mastermind to come, you're going to have access to the last business coaching mastermind we had. You're going to be able to take that whole mastermind, learn everything that we teach, get access to download all of the handouts that we provided for that one. And while you're waiting, you're going to be able to learn. You're going to be able to answer certain questions that you might already have about your business, your holding company, your income, your tax strategies, your accounting. So many things you're going to be able to answer. But then you can start getting a list of questions that you want to ask me when we host our live business coaching mastermind in August. So when that comes, all you're going to have to do, because you've already signed up, is sign in or log into your account on our secure university training platform. And when you log in the day of the event, all you got to do is click the start button, and you're going to have access to the live virtual business coaching mastermind. And during that mastermind, I'm going to be teaching a whole lot of good things. We're going to be doing some interactive activities. I'm going to be deep diving and assessing business owners who are currently there. We're going to be identifying with roadblocks, common pitfalls that entrepreneurs have. We're going to be answering a lot of questions. I'm going to be giving you some mechanics on what can you do in this area in your finances, this area with your products, this area with your sales. We're going to get into all of that, and I'll answer your questions. Even if you're just streaming in live, you'll be able to drop your questions in the comments. And then once that is over, we're going to also give everyone who attends the mastermind and signs up for it a link to a follow-up Q&A coaching and consulting session that I'm going to be doing just for those of you that participate and attend the mastermind. That's going to be something extra I want to do just to make sure we're following up so that you're able to continue to move forward. That's what it's about. It's about you and I winning. It's about you and I creating legacies. It's about you and I building a solid foundation. And we can't do that unless we have the right education, the right information, and we put ourselves in the right circles. So this mastermind, for many of you who have never invested substantially in yourself or in your business, or maybe you have, but it was a flop. A lot of people are apprehensive to join a coaching program or to attend a virtual training program if they have tried it before and it didn't work, or if they have tried it before and it was a flop. It wasn't really no information. It wasn't no meat. It didn't have any substance. So a lot of people who listen to me, you know, we just had a conversation with someone yesterday. A lot of people who listen to me, they know what I'm saying is right. Mm-hmm. They feel like I'm genuine. Mm-hmm. They kind of jump across the threshold to doubting if I'm just an internet guru, but it's still hard to pull that trigger. Mm. But it's not until you pull that trigger that you really gonna start seeing change. That's good. Like for real. Like me and my staff, we're going through a process right now that we want to get all the numbers, all the math, all the metrics, all the analytics of every single thing we're doing here. One of the reasons why we're pushing so hard to figure a lot of these complicated, sophisticated, technological things out, one of the reasons why we're doing that is because we want to be able to better serve our customers and clients. We want to be able to better serve our community. We want to provide better solutions for you because that's what Fortune 500 companies are doing. That's what the multi-billion-dollar companies are doing. That's what the current trillion-dollar companies are doing. As a matter of fact, most of them spend billions and billions of dollars every year just on research and development. So research and development is a real thing for me and for my business, for our whole organization and for our team. Research and development is like at the helm of what we do because we want to continue to innovate. I said all that to say you need to be thinking about signing up. So this week we're talking about the first 5 actions in business. The first 5 actions in business. So let's just assume you don't have a business and you're ready to start a business. Let's assume you have a business, but you ain't really been doing nothing with the business and you want to hit the reset button so you can get started in business. Or let's just assume you're doing something in business, but it's not enough to really pay you and to compensate you, to sustain you, to be a full-time entrepreneur. Well, we should all collectively hit the reset button. I don't care where you at. Whether you just starting a business and you don't have nothing going on, whether you started one and don't got nothing going on, or whether you don't have enough going on, we all want to hit the reset button. And we want to look at these first 5 actions in business. So yesterday I gave you the first action in business. The first thing you need to do, and this should be across the board. Even if you're starting a new business, let's say you have a current business and you want to start a new business, you should still repeat this process every time you get ready to start a new business. Every time you get ready to launch a new venture, every time you get ready to expand your organization, you should go through this same 5-step or 5-action process. So number 1, yesterday we talked about the first action is for you to filter and form your products and services. That's like the first thing you should be doing. The first thing you should be doing. And guess what? If you haven't been able to do that yet and you have a current business in operation, you got to go back to number 1 and say, let me filter and form my products and services. Well, how do you filter your products and services so that you can form them? Filtering them means that you got to take your ideas and you got to filter them. If I have an idea to sell clothes, if I have an idea to service a certain community, if I have an idea to provide a certain service to a certain client or customer, I got to filter that and form that into a product or service. You can't just be in la la land saying, oh, this is what I really want to do. I think I want to do this. I think I got a good opportunity to sell this. No, you got to filter that and form that into a product and service. And the way you do that is, we talked about it yesterday, you got to look at what your core competencies are. What am I good at? What am I gifted at? What am I talented at? What am I skilled at? And you got to put that against your idea. So if you have an idea to do something and you want to turn that idea into a product or service, it's got to be in alignment with your core competencies, meaning that it's got to be in alignment with what you good at doing. And if you got an idea to do something that you're not good at doing, you got to do one or two things. You got to either get good at doing it, or you got to hire somebody or partner with somebody who's good at doing it. Or a third option, you got to leave it alone and find something that you're good at doing. Does that make sense? Yes. So that's the first step or the first action in business. Filter and form your products and services. Now you got to think about how can they be packaged. So once you come up with a product or service, how can I package them? Do I package them at a price that they can be bought in mass quantities? Or do I do a big ticket item where I'm not going to have mass quantities, but I'm going to have a few select people? This is the part of the process you got to go through. If what I'm saying is complicated to you, it's probably because you're not getting educated on this stuff enough. You're not listening to somebody like me enough. Okay? The next question you got to ask with the first action, we talked about it yesterday, was, are these products and services that you want to provide and sell, are they relevant in today's world? You got to make sure people want to buy the stuff you're trying to sell. And guess what? The only way you can know if somebody want to buy it is if you introduce it to the market and somebody actually buys it. Because if you introduce it to the market and nobody buys it, well, the market might be telling you they don't want to buy it. That means you got to go back to the drawing board. So last week, we just did that. Last week, I told you, we're preparing to relaunch one of our School of Profits Master Certification program, right? Yes. So we're still developing the schedule and laying the program out so that we can launch it within the next month and a half. So what did I do? I put it out there. I attach a price to it. I put it out there in the public and I say, hey, if you want to get in early, here's the early bird price. You can get in. So when we do launch it and the price goes up to the original price that it's going to be, you can already be in. So we sent emails out. We announced it on our show. What happened? Somebody responded and purchased it. Well, the market just told me that somebody wants that product. Okay, so that means I need to continue to build it out. If nobody responded to it, I'd have been like, you know what? Well, at least we tried. Womp, womp, womp. And we'd have kept it moving. I do this all the time. It's like, hey, it is what it is. So today I want to talk about the second action in business. So you should do that. And guess what? Doing each of these steps is not something you can do in like 20 minutes either. It's not something you could do in 20 minutes. I know once we become like real popular, and once I really become like the mogul and the guru, you know, like once that happens, I know it's going to be people who just want to like come and like come around, like just spend the day with us to see how the day go. Getting on your jet. You know, that's going to happen. That's going to happen. That's going to happen. Yeah, so it's going to happen. I'm bringing. It's going to happen. That's going to happen. I know some people be like, man, this dude is like really into himself. But I'm really not into myself. I'm just confident in what I'm doing, and I believe what I believe. So it's like, hey, and I just don't feel like that. A lot of people might feel like, wow, you just extra. I'm doing it for my people. I'm just the ambassador for my company. I'm the ambassador for my community, because I want all of us to win. So that day will come that people will be able to like come in and see how we operate some days, and how we grow into doing certain things we do. Because every day we try to show up and just move the needle a little bit. Like every day you're going to get better and better at certain things that you're learning, that you're growing into. And then you reach a point that you're real good at it, and you're like, wow. You look back and say, yeah, but we did it for the last 90 days, piece by piece, step by step. That brought us to where we at. So each of these first actions in business, you got to understand. The first one we talked about, filtering and forming your products and services, that might take a month and a half for you. It might take 2 months for you. This is one of the conversations that I'm going to really start having more and more with a lot of our coaching clients. And if you're one of our coaching clients and you feel discouraged, or you just feel like you're not moving at the pace you're supposed to be moving at, you know, I really want to encourage you, and that's what we're setting out to do, to really move in more in encouraging our clients to know that it ain't gonna happen overnight. It might not happen in the first 90 days. It might not happen in the first 6 months. But if you can just do a little bit every day, you can keep moving that needle and keep moving forward. So here's the second action in business. Once you filter and form your products and services, then you need to attach and add your prices and inventory. Attach and add your prices and inventory. If you have any questions, I want you to drop the question in the comments. Please. I'll be more than happy to answer whatever question that you might have. If you have any question about business, ministry, income, wealth building, real estate investing, if you got a question, even if it's not about that, I'll still try to answer it. So the second action in business is for you to attach and add your prices and inventory. Attach and add your prices and inventory. So this describes the creative process, listen to this, of attaching prices to your products and services and adding a mixture of inventory with intellectual property, time, and other complementary resources. So let me give you an example. Let's say you have filtered and formed your products and services. That means you have an idea of what you want to sell, and you have developed it or formed it into a product. You know what you're getting ready to go sell. Now you want to attach prices to it. So, for example, if you're selling a product and the product is $20, that's a price that you're going to attach to that product. But you might want to add to that $20 product a mixture of inventory. So, for example, I'm gonna give you an example. You got a $20 product, right? That you want to sell. What is it that you can add as a bonus to that $20 product? It could be free shipping. So it could be a $2 shipping price that you decide I'm gonna take the hit on the shipping just to give people the incentive to buy this $20 product. But that might mean you don't have to sell it for 20. You might be able to sell it for 25 and offer free shipping. So what did you actually do? Instead of you selling it for 20 and they got to pay $3.50 for shipping and be harassed with checkout and all this other stuff, you took that problem away for them where they're not spending the $3 and something to get it shipped, but they're actually spending $5 more for convenience. So that means you have attached or added to that product and that price a service that is complementary. You got to think about how you can add more inventory to your products. And some of you, if you have products that or services that have certain prices, you need to have a scale of prices maybe below or maybe beyond that particular price that you have. Because some of you have prices that are too low. And the reason why your prices are low is because you're limited in what you're trying to sell. But you can't sell something and what you're selling only has the value of the price that you attach to it. You just missed that. Did you hear what I said? You cannot sell me something and what you're selling me only has the value of the price that you're selling it to me for. So that means if you're going to sell me a bottle of water, well, this bottle of water need to have more value than the price of the bottle of water. So for example, if you go to a convenience store, we do it in the airport all the time. You go to the airport, you buy a bottle of water, you might pay $8 for that bottle of water at an airport. But you don't mind paying $8 because there's more attached to that 50-cent bottle of water. You know what's attached to it? Convenience. Because you ain't going to miss your flight because you can go right down the terminal and pick it up. It's convenience. It's easily accessible. Those are the things that you got to think about. So if you selling a bottle of water and it's $5, well, you might need to sell it at the door of their house. You can't make me drive around the corner, down the street, get in a big old parking lot, jump out the car. You go to Walmart and buy a bottle of water for 50 cents. You already expect to pay 50 cents because it costs you $8 just to get there. You had to park on the other side of the street. You had to walk the whole parking lot. You had to stand in a self-serve aisle for 30 minutes. I mean, you done almost passed out for dehydration just to pay 50 cents for a bottle of water in Walmart. Where you could have went to QT and spent $3 for a bottle of water, but you could have got in and out. So that's what you got to think about with this second action in business. Attach and add your prices and inventory. So I go through this with all of our coaching clients. When I sit down with a client and they show me what their products are, or once we decide what their products are going to be, the next step is for us to attach a price to that product. So how much is that going to cost? Oh, I'm a coach. Well, how much is that coaching going to cost? Or I'm a service provider. How much is that service is going to cost? I got these products that I want to sell. How much are those products are going to be. And then once we get a list of what they selling and how much they think they can sell it for, I want to assess it to see, do you have enough products? Do you have too many products? Is the price attached to that product correct? Or is it close enough to get you some activity in the marketplace? And now we want to look at what other items of inventory can we add to that product or service you're selling so that we can make it have more perceived value than it actually has. We want to create perceived value. So there are other things you got to add to it. Some of y'all need to take a note on that. Or you need to drop it in the comments. For number 2, perceived value. Perceived value. There are a lot of things that you buy and you don't mind paying the money for it because of the value that you perceive it has. Have you ever bought something and it felt like you got over on them when you bought it? You leave there feeling like, dog, man, this was a good deal. And you feel like that because you feel like, oh my God, I got over. Man, I just finessed them. You really didn't finesse them. If you paid $1, you still paid something. So it was still an exchange. But it might be a lot of perceived value. And guess what? It's okay to create perceived value. Because one thing I know about godly people, prophetic people, creative people, and just entrepreneurs in general. One thing I know about you, if you make a promise or you give somebody that you make a deal with your word, you're most likely, 99.999% of the time, you will over deliver on the perceived value that you provide to that customer or client. You're going to do it. You're going to do it. I know you're going to do it. I know you're going to do it. It's not that you're not going to have customers or clients that don't complain. It's not like people ain't going to be like, it just ain't enough. But for the most part, you're going to have more people who accept your offer because you've created enough perceived value to make them believe or to feel like they're getting more than what they're paying for. So you have to attach prices to your products and services. If you have a problem attaching prices to your products, like if you're listening to me right now, I'm throwing a lot of offers out there today. If you're listening to me right now and you have products and services that you want to sell, but you're just not confident or sure or certain the prices you have attached to those products and services are the right ones, if you need help with that, I want you to reach out to me today. Okay? I want you to reach out to me. I want you to text help to one of the numbers you see in the comments. If you need help with that, I think every day I'm going to come up with a new word to text. Can you imagine we sitting in the office one day and it's like we getting all these text messages, help, money, roof, flows, next level. We're going to be like, listen, can we?
What you need help with?
Oh my God, that is so funny. That's what I'm going to do. So if you're just stuck on your prices and if you don't know if your prices are right, I want to help you with that. Okay? You need help with that. You really need a business consultant to help you make sure that you're pricing your products and services correctly. And so that's one of the things that we do. One of the things that we do for our clients is we make sure that they pricing their services correctly. And most of the time, and this is true, 99% of the time, I probably can say 100% of the time, 100% of the time, if I'm sitting down with a client and they have a price, it's too low. 100% of the time, their first price is too low because they're probably pricing it based on their limited perception of pricing versus value. So they have to reset their minds to see that, if you lowball yourself, you're going to over-deliver anyway. And when you over-deliver, you're going to feel real bad because you're going to be like, oh my God, not only did I lowball myself in price, but now I have enslaved myself in providing value. And you're going to over-deliver, and you're going to be doing 10 times as much work or providing way more products and services for less money. When people don't really want that anyway. If I'm a customer or a client, I don't mind paying for what I want when I know what I want has value to me. Even if it's perceived value, but it's enough for me to get in on it. So if you need some help with that, I want you to reach out to us today. Just text the word help to one of those numbers, and we'll be more than happy to walk you through the second action in business, which is the process of attaching prices to your products and services and adding a mixture of inventory. And what is the mixture of inventory? A lot of times the mixture of inventory is not more products. It's not more services. This is one of the biggest challenges a lot of coaches and consultants face. That's one of the programs, new programs I'm gonna be launching as we prepare to enter into 2022. I'm gonna have a program exclusively for coaches and consultants. Because you always hear people saying, oh, I want to be a six-figure coach. Well, I am a six-figure coach. So I already know what it feels like to have a six-figure coaching program. And guess what? My coaching program is not even my whole business. So I know it works. It's just a matter of what type of products and services you're providing. That's what it's going to come down to. Because most people who coaching, they don't even know what they coaching. They don't even know who they coaching. They don't even know what they're providing. And it goes back to filtering and forming products and services. And once they filter and form it, now they got to attach prices to it. And when you attach prices to your products and services and you're preparing to add inventory, you can't just be looking at the inventory of your services or the inventory of your time. That's not the only inventory you got. And when you're coming out of the workforce, meaning that you've been a W-2 employee your whole life, now you're trying to become an entrepreneur, most of the time the only thing you're trying to sell is the same thing you sold when you was in the workforce. Your time and your effort. Your time and your effort. And there's only so much time and effort you can give somebody. You ain't got them but 24 hours. You need to sleep at least 8 of them. You should be, which means you only really got 16 hours. And if you got 16 hours, you got to use the bathroom, you got to doo-doo, you got to bathe, you got to eat, you got to spend time with your family, you got to drive. I mean, it's other things that you got to do. Like, wow, you got to add all that to it?
Extra.
Yeah, you do. You got to doo-doo. Unless you constipated. Hey, it is what it is.
Wow.
But you got other intellectual property. Like, your other intellectual property is like your information, your systems, your processes. These are other things that you can add to your products and services. Like a lot of times when I sit down with a client and we get their products and their services lined up and we attach prices to it, when I start adding inventory to their products and services, they be looking like, wow, how did you come up with all that? Like, how did you get there? I know how I got there because I'm adding more than just your effort. I'm adding more than just your time. I'm adding other complementary resources, other intellectual property, other assets through systems or processes that may not require your time and your effort, at least not once it's put in place. That's where I want you to be. I want you to be there. And guess what? You can do it selling water bottles or selling coaching. You can do it with either one. You can do it being a salesperson. You could do it being a maintenance person. Like you can use these same principles as a maintenance person. Like you can be a maintenance person and still start, structure, and scale some type of operation as a maintenance person to put you in a better position financially. It's the same principle that you just converting over into wherever it is you are. So that's how you attach and add your products, your prices, and your inventory. If you have any questions, because I might just be rambling off too much and you can't keep up with it, just feel free to send us a message. Drop the question in the comments. I'll be more than happy to answer it. That was pretty good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That was really, really good. So I got a couple questions I want to answer. Well, I want to ask and I'm going to answer. I'm going to provide the answer for. Because when it comes to you attaching and adding your prices and your inventory to your products and services, here's some questions you want to ask yourself and get the answers for. Question number one, you should be asking, would you buy these from someone else? Like this is, I repeat this over and over again. Like I probably talked about this same subject on 3 or 4 different shows. That's one of the questions you want to ask yourself. Would you buy these products from someone else? So think about the products and the services that you have right now. Think about the prices that you have attached and added inventory to. Now, if somebody tried to sell you that, if somebody tried to sell you that same product and that same service, would you buy it? Would you buy it? You got to be honest with yourself. Because I have a $15 book that I sell. I have a $19 book. I have a $25 hat. I got $25 shirts. If I look at that book, let me see them books right there. If I look at those books, no, you got to be critical with yourself. Like, I got to be honest with myself.
With your picture.
With my picture.
Oh, yeah.
Look, my picture's in the back too. So I got 2 books. I'm probably going to write another one next year. But this book I think is on Amazon for $15 and this is $19.99. But when I look at this book and I look at the content that's in this book, I got to be able to ask myself, would I buy these products from someone else? So if someone was selling me a $20 book on being a prophet and the process that prophets need to go through, and I looked at the content in this book and saw everything I was learning, I would have to ask myself, if somebody was selling this type of information for $20, would it be worth me buying? If I looked at this and felt like, I don't care who picture, it could have been the Pope on here. It could have been Prophet Elijah. If I look at it and feel like, I don't even know if I would pay this much for it. Now, if I priced this book $49, I wouldn't buy this book. That's why I didn't price it $49. I'm not finna buy a book like this for $49. You know why? Because I can take a class for $49 on this subject. So I'm not going to be stupid and think, oh yeah, but I need to price this book at $49 because I need to sell like 100 so I can make $5,000. You goofy dog. Ain't nobody going to buy it. You price it at $20 because it's an easy read. It's 200 pages. The subject matter is so ridiculous that you would probably need 2 or 3 other books to learn a lot of the stuff that you're learning in this. So somebody who's a student of prophetic ministry, if they looked at this book, they would say, wait a minute, a lot of these topics that he's talking about, I would have to buy 4 or 5 other books to learn. Mm-hmm. So if I could buy this one book for $20, so in their mind, they're thinking, wow, I could spend $20 for this book and learn 5 or 6 different topics on prophetic ministry, or I could buy 5 $20 books. Do I want to spend 20 or 100? So this is how you have to question all of your products and services. everything that you're selling. And if you don't feel good about this, then you got to say, what can I add to this book so I can feel good about it if I bought it? Maybe you would have to add the ebook version for free. Maybe you would have to add a free prophetic webinar with this, a link to a free webinar. Maybe you would have to add a free ticket to a prophetic event. I mean, you just got to start adding inventory to make it easy for somebody to pay this amount. Now, if I had this book for $49, I would probably have to have a course set up with it, which I do have a course, but it's not attached to the book. I'm just giving you examples that this is what I take myself through when I'm preparing to introduce a new product or a new service to the market. So you got to ask yourself, would you buy these products and services that you're selling at the price with the inventory that you added to it? Would you buy those from someone else? And don't be lying to yourself. Oh yeah, I buy that. You know doggone well you wouldn't pay that much money for that because you would feel like it ain't enough. Well, guess what you need to do? Add enough to feel like this is where I would pay if it had this, that, there, and the other. Because if you feel like that, then other people feel like that. And if you're tricking yourself into thinking you would pay for it at that price, knowing you wouldn't, that's one of the reasons why nobody else is buying it. Because the truth is, you know you wouldn't pay that much for it. And it's not that it's something wrong with the price, if you understand what I'm saying. It might not be the price. If it's not the price, what do you think it is? If it's not the price, what you think it is? It's the inventory. It's the value. You got to add more inventory and more value. So how can you answer this question on would you buy your products and services from someone else? Here's one thing you can do. You can check your competitors' products and services. So I want to see who else wrote books on prophetic ministry. Who else wrote books on mindset? Because this book is really about a mindset. It ain't really. There's some tactics and some things that you can implement, but this book was about mindset. When I look at my university training platform for business and finances, I look at who else is selling online courses and what are they selling them for. I know somebody right now that sells courses and they don't even have like a fourth of the courses that I have, and they selling theirs for like 10 grand. Remember that one customer told you that?
What?
Remember they said when they saw my blueprint that they knew somebody that was selling the same thing for like what, 10,000?
The same or less.
Yep. And giving less information. So that's a question you want to ask. Would you buy your products if somebody else sold them? Would you buy those same products and services? What type of services are you providing? Especially if you're trying to get into more professional services like coaching or consulting or some type of corporate service that you want to provide. Now you really got to deep dive into the critic to see if somebody was selling this to me, would I actually buy this? And what am I actually selling them? Because other people are thinking that. When you tell somebody use this, that, and the other, they looking at you like, okay, well, what you selling? And what does that look like? How's that going to benefit me? How's it going to change this area of my life? What can I expect as results? Is there anybody that got those results? Do you have those results? Like one of the questions that our trainer, when we was in Miami the other week, one of the questions that our trainer was challenging us to ask people that wanted us to do business with them was, think about that. They were challenging us. They said one of the questions you should ask somebody who wants you to do business with them or want to sell you something is, what is the most amount of money you've made in a year? And if they trying to help you, for example, if they trying to get you to 6 figures and they say, oh, the most amount of money I made in a year was $72,000. how they gonna get you to six figures? Huh? They can't get you to six figures. The most amount of money they've ever made was $72,000. And then the next question he said you should ask is, what is the biggest deal you've ever sold? What is the biggest product or service or one deal you've ever made at one time? So that would be like the biggest closing you've had as an agent, the biggest product you sold, or maybe the biggest set of services you've sold, biggest contract you've had. What is the biggest one? I think the other question was, like, what was your biggest exit? Like, have you ever sold a business or some type of company, and what was the value of that? So those are like top tier questions, but it still links back to looking at what your competitors are doing. Check out your competitors' prices. Check out your competitors' products. Like, if I Google coaches or consultants in Buckhead, let me see, business consultants in Buckhead, Atlanta. I know we got the SEO queen over here, so we might be showing up. Business consultants in Buckhead, Atlanta. I mean, I can scroll down, like, it's literally like they don't stop. They everywhere. Business consultants, I mean, everybody. Dog, it's one company called Hood Consulting. Wow. I guess that's their last name, maybe Hood, but I wouldn't be using that. If my last name was Hood, I'd be like, hey, and I'm sorry if your last name Hood, but I'll be like using my initials, JH Consulting. But see, how you can be a consultant and not know that. Because a business consultant would look at Hood and be like, oh no, I'm from the Hood. I'm not using that name. You see what I'm saying? But how many other people think that? See, those are things that consultants look at. But I look at all these names of business consultants in Buckhead, Atlanta. A lot of them are around here. And now, if I'm looking at them, I can go to their website. Wow, this one marketing consultant came up, and their name is Prophet, Prophet, like profit. Wow. Okay. I don't know what that means, but okay. But guess what? What are you? What is your business? Are you a network marketer? I'm just saying, if you're a network marketer, then put in network marketers in your city. It's 18,000 of them in your city. You're competing with 17,999 more network marketers. Are you a real estate agent? Are you a hairdresser? Are you a barber? Do you do toes? Do you sew fabric? What do you do? Here's what you got to do. You got to check your competitors' products and prices. There are people who probably run in circles around you in your city right now. And guess what? I don't necessarily know how many business consultants in Buckhead who actually have a free show Monday through Friday, but I know I'm one of them. And guess what? If none of them don't have it, I'm going to stand out among them all. So while they out there trying to be bougie and they might be in one of these high rises, well, me too, dog. But guess what? I got a show. I don't know how many of these business consultants have an online training university. Guess what? I got one. I don't even know how many of these business consultants have a real staff, because most of them are solo. Most of them ain't got nobody. It's just them. But guess what? I do. I got a real team. I got a real squad. I'm just showing you. You got to think about your competitors. You got to put yourself in a position where you dominate that sector. You dominate that space. You got to move past that. And some of these consultants, I don't even know if they're actually doing the kind of consulting that I'm doing. So when you ask me what kind of consultant I am, I'm going to say I'm a business consultant. And you say, well, what do you mean by being a business consultant? Well, I'm going to get into the meat. We help people what?
Start, structure, and scale.
See there, I ain't even got to say it. The squad's saying it. Start, structure, and scale. Your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and your wealth building dreams. You better know your competitors. If you do landscape, if you paint houses, if you trim trees, if you have a transportation company, whatever it is, look at your competitors. And I know I'm going to say this might rub some of you church people the wrong way, but if you have a ministry or a nonprofit, you should at least have an idea of how many ministries and nonprofits are in your area. Like, you're not the only one having church.
Right.
Like, everybody ain't showing up to your church or to your nonprofit for services every day or every week. So that means, as humble as you are, when it comes to the marketplace and the opportunity to provide services to your community, you have competitors. You have other people who are doing other things that are moving ahead of you, and you should be at least aware of that so that you can craft what it is that you need to craft and campaign how you want to campaign. I ain't gonna get to that point today. So you got to ask yourself the question, would you buy the products that you sell from somebody else? If you wouldn't buy them, you shouldn't sell them. Yeah. And guess what? I heard my uncle, Grant Cardone, that's my uncle. I'm his nephew. I heard GC say, I know somebody gonna be like, dog, you got somebody up there claiming you. Hey, wow. It is what it is. But I heard him say something one day about selling and buying products. What you said is gonna happen one day?
Yeah, you agree.
Mm-hmm. Here's the next question I want you to ask. What are some complementary products or services you would need? So think about what your competitors are selling, or think about what you would buy similar to what you sell, and think about, if you wouldn't pay for it at that price, what would be some complementary products or services or resources that you would need in order to be okay paying that price for that product and service? So here are some complementary things you could think about. Onboarding assistance. Onboarding assistance. This is actually something we're getting ready to introduce in our organization. I'm going to have a whole course that's centered around onboarding our coaching clients, onboarding our university platform clients. So when people sign up for our university, when people sign up for our coaching program, I want to have a whole onboarding course and a process to take them through so that they can be 100% familiar with everything that they have access to, and so that they can maximize and leverage and use to the fullest all the resources that we give them access to in our organization. Ongoing support. So there can be some type of onboarding assistance that you provide for your clients or customers. There can be some ongoing support that you provide for your clients and customers, like if they purchase something. And we talked about that yesterday, about some of the campaigns. If you purchase something today, in a couple of days, you're gonna get a follow-up, or somebody's gonna reach out to you to follow up, or something is gonna happen. Like, there needs to be some type of ongoing support. You can also think about symbiotic products and services. So that means you can have other products and services that won't be the same, but they're similar enough and different enough that they actually complement the product and the service that they bought, or that they're buying, or program that they're on. These are things that you got to think about. And the more you want to do business, the more you want to serve people, the more you want to help people, the better you want to become at that. So if there's anything that I shared with you today on this second action in business that you need help on, if you need some assistance on, I want you to text the word help to us, and the information is in the comments. Also, if you would like access to this whole 4-hour virtual training that we did, and also access to our upcoming business coaching mastermind. We're giving you access to both of them for $30, $29.99. You can click the link in the description. You can sign up today. You get immediate access to this information that I'm sharing, 4 hours of training on this mastermind, and then you will also have a scheduled mastermind coming up as a live event that you'll be able to have access to, along with, in addition to those two, a free Q&A session that we're going to host live virtual following our upcoming mastermind. So you kind of like getting 3 sessions in one. 3 sessions in one. You can't beat that. And trust me, the information that you're going to learn just going through this one while you're waiting on the one in August, it's going to blow your mind. You're going to be like, oh my God, I done learned so much. I'm going to be ready for him when August comes. And I want to see you grow and go to where you know you want to be. So reach out to us. Let us know what we can do to help provide more resources, more information, more support, more strategies, more solutions for you. All this week, I'm going to be talking about your first actions in business. Yesterday, I talked about the first one. Today, I'm talking about the second one. Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'm going to talk about the third, fourth, and fifth one. And we're going to deep dive into some of the details of each one so that you can feel like you got a lot of value from the show. I love y'all. Appreciate all of you for your support. Please let us know how we can help you. And do me a favor. Invest those $30 into your own personal business coaching mastermind. You have access today through this offer for $30 to take this whole mastermind program, to get it in your mind, to just dissect it and digest it, and then you can prepare for our upcoming one, all for $30, and the Q&A. So let us know what we can do to help you. We look forward to hearing from you, and we'll see you tomorrow right here on the Ramon Preston Show.